All right. Yes, perfect. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another Authors Impact Hub podcast. I am your host, Juanita Woodson, and I am joined by another amazing author. We have Miss Colette Harrell on with us, and I'm excited. So, of course, we always have our authors do their own introductions. I don't think anybody can tell who they are better than themselves. So before we get into our questions, our Q&A, I'm going to pass it over to her so that she can tell a little bit about herself. So we are bringing you, of course, real authors, real stories, and real impact. So I'm going to pass it to you. If you can let us know the book we're discussing, a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into some Q&A.
Well, this sounds wonderful, Juanita. First of all, thank you for having me. I am Colette R. Harrell, the author of this fantastic book, Chasing Different, an inspirational romantic thriller. And it is all about Nia and Deacon. Nia is my cowardly lioness, because even though she's brave inside, she doesn't necessarily show that on the outside. Nia is a people pleaser. Deacon is on the spectrum. He is handsome, he is successful, but he is different. So that comes back to chasing different. And this is all about finding love outside of the norm. It's all about being a hero in your own life. I love how you started this and you talked about being real authors with real stories. Well, this is about two real people, even though it's fictional, who actually fight against the odds. There is and we know in society today, there's an Illuminati type of group, and they are the consul. And they have a sinister book that prophesies evil. And somehow or another, our librarian Nia gets a hold of the book, and our adventure takes off when Deacon decides to protect her and become the hero in their story. So that is Chasing Different. It has twists, it has turns, it has romance. I had some young men tell me that it's not just for women, but it's for men too. So please check it out.
Oh, this is going to be exciting. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about your process writing this book. All right, so we're going to jump right in. So, first, what inspired you to write Chasing Different?
You know, I have people in my immediate family that are, if not on the spectrum, they have mental health challenges. I wanted them to be able to know that they could have their own love stories. I wanted them to be able to understand that they could be the heroes in their own lives. And so many times, as in the case of Nia and Deacon, having siblings who have been used to protecting them in their childhood, they become adulthood, and the only thing they really, really want is to be left to live their lives. And unfortunately, these well-meaning siblings who love them madly, but they're also siblings that are successful. How many of us have a sibling that's super successful? We're kind of in the shadow, and if we also have additional issues, it can be daunting. So Nia and Deacon set out to show themselves capable of being adults and to rule and to have autonomy over their own lives. And so when I put this together, it's a trilogy. So Chasing Different is the first book. The second book is all about Nia's perfect sister who happens to not be so perfect, who happens to have some deep, dark secrets that we find out about in Finding Different. And the third book, Loving Different, is all about Deacon and Jonesy. They're siblings, one black, one white. How did their parents come together? And how did their father, who used to be a white supremacist, end up marrying their mother? So that is the third book in Loving Different. So I'm coloring outside the lines, and I'm hoping this trilogy brings everybody to the table where they're turning pages into the night.
Okay, so you already have us like anticipating more. Listen. Okay, so listen, let's I am like, all right, so we're anticipating more. So let's get like Nia and Deacon are such unique characters. So how did their personalities, especially Deacon's neurodivergence, come to you?
Again, because I have some people in my family, I have friends who also have people in their family. And what I found out is this is a commonality in American families. We
Yeah.
all have loved ones, we all have close family members, or even close friends that are struggling in some type of manner with, if not neurodivergence, but also in terms of mental health issues and struggles and informed trauma. And having a background, I used to be director of social services in my old life. I met a lot of people that just wanted to live their lives. And so I wanted to tell this story. I wanted to tell this story, not just for the people that are living it, but for the people that are watching them live it. I want them to have hope that their loved ones can have a normality based on what they see as successful. We don't all have the same measuring stick, right? And so we need to have the measuring stick that God has and allow Him to determine our paths and not for us to shortchange people.
Listen, that's a message all in itself. I love that. I love that. So, and you kind of answered this next question, but I want you to touch on that just a little bit. So, what message did you want readers to walk away with after reading Chasing Different?
That all your dreams are possible, that you should work on what you want to work on in your life, and
Mm,
that you should think of your life as limitless, right? Stop putting ceilings on what you can do. Somebody told you weren't smart enough, you weren't pretty enough, you weren't thin enough, you weren't smart enough to do the things that you felt you could do. And a lot of times those words stopped us. And I
mm.
want to take the stop sign off and allow people to live to their fullest.
Yes, absolutely. So you explore courage and being different in this book. So how does that theme reflect maybe your own journey as a writer and a woman of faith?
Wow. Such good questions, Juanita. Let me think. I would say that I've had to show courage, having been an executive in nonprofits where I was the only person of color at the table, having to think differently, and also having a heart for the public that and a vision for what I wanted to give to people who were in need.
Mm,
And so what I found out is when I came to the table authentically and people heard my heart, that I was able to open doors I didn't think I could open.
mm,
And those are the things that make me proud of what I did during my past life. And I wanted to bring that courage into, hey, can I put my thoughts down on paper? And someone actually purchased them and it makes a difference. And I'm an author, and I didn't mention this, I'm also a developmental editor and a book coach. And so working with young authors or not so young authors who are doing their first book, that's my gravy on the meat, right? That's when I really love being able to handhold someone and bring them into the manifestation of being an author. And so those are my courage peels. Those are the things that I take to make me get up every day and do it all over again.
yes, I love that. So, as a developmental editor and book coach, right? So, what's one lesson maybe that you wish every aspiring author would learn early?
To make sure that you are getting an editor. I've had so many people come to me after the fact, after the book failed, after the reviews were negative because they didn't have a professional editor. And it's so important to get another set of eyes, even if you feel you're a great writer. It doesn't hurt for someone to look because as a developmental editor, we look at the pacing, we look at the big story, we look at foreshadowing, the point of view, we look at whether or not the genre you say your book is really that genre. So we really help you. We help you show and not tell. We look at your narrative. We make sure that you're doing the right thing in the right way. So we're not just coming to say, yeah, this is okay or that's not okay. We're coming with expertise to help you write that next sentence,
Yeah, paint the bigger picture, right?
painting that bigger picture and making sure that all of the dots are dotted and the T's are crossed.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So tell us a little bit about some of the big things that you've done, right? Some of the literary events, because I know you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, I didn't mention that I'm also a literary event hostess. So I have a signature event called the Juneteenth Bash.
Love
And
that.
BASH stands for Black Authors Spotlight on Heritage.
Yes.
I offer free tables, free, free 99 to
Okay.
all of the authors that can come because I want to help them sell their books, engage in the community. So far, I have 825 attendees coming in,
Love it.
and there's 50 authors. We have a band, we have DJs, we have food, we have um, a photo booth. We have an elderly group, a senior group here that reads to the children. And
Yeah.
so we have even the kids, one of the activities that they do is make their own book cover and create their own 4-page book
I love that.
before they leave. And so I partner with our public library, the MLK, and I
Okay.
just think it's real important to do a literary event on Juneteenth. There's a lot of festivals, but
Hmm.
this is a total literary festival, and the additional benefits of it is secondary to the fact that we're all about having people read and having people engage with authors who write.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. So it sounds like, so like I said, you wear many, many hats, right? So let's get into some fun things, right? We're gonna get into our rapid fire questions, right?
Okay,
Okay. So, what is your favorite time of day to write?
late night or early morning.
Late night or early morning? Right. Okay. So, what was your favorite book? Last book that you read?
Oh my goodness, the last book that I read, Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria Christopher Murray.
Okay. A line or a quote from Chasing Different that still gives you the feels.
Deacon, do you pray? And his answer is, I don't know. Does praying for you count?
Oh, okay. Tea or coffee?
T.
Okay. If your readers remember one thing about you, what do you want that to be?
That my happily ever afters are authentic and that they make you want to live better.
Awesome. I love that. All right. That wraps up our rapid fire questions. I kept it easy. I kept it light. So
I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. She didn't take me out.
yes, I did not. So where can listeners connect with you and grab a copy of your book?
I'm on all the usual places, Draft to Digital, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, but I'm also, if you want an autographed copy or you want to see some of the other books that I've written, please come to my website, which is ColetteHarrell.com.
Yes. And then what's next for you? Any projects? I know, so from the very beginning, you let us know. You let us know already. So do we have an upcoming date for the next book coming out in this trilogy?
I'm looking at Finding Different to come out in April.
Okay.
I'm in the midst of it now, but I also am completing a ghostwriting book for another author,
Yeah.
and I'm also about to take on a developmental editing project for another author. So I continue to work with other authors as I'm writing on my own. So that's why it'll probably be March to April before it comes out. But I am writing it along with outlining the third book and getting it ready to go.
Yes, absolutely. And then do you have a final word of encouragement for authors who are still chasing their purpose?
Please stay with it. Please keep climbing. Please keep believing. Hone your craft. Please go to classes. I still go to classes, even though I teach others. I learn from others. We should never stop honing our craft and working towards being our best selves.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And what impact do you want your books, your legacy, and I love to say like the legacy that we're living, because I don't think legacy is just what we leave behind, but the
Mm.
legacy that we live every single day. What do you want that to be on the world?
I would love for the day that I am no longer here for my books to represent me in my best self. I neglected to say I just wrote a children's book. It should be out in November,
Love
and
it.
it is based on my grandchildren. And so I want my great grandchildren to be able to pick up my books and know who I was
Mm.
and know my integrity and what I stood for. And so I hope that's what I give to the world.
Yes, absolutely. Well, listeners, make sure that you connect and please make sure, how can we follow you on social media if you have social media?
I am on social media. I'm on Facebook as Colette Harrell. I am on Instagram. Those are the two I'm on most as Colette R. Harrell. So please look me up. I'm right there. I will be at the Black Tie of Excellence on November the 8th, a citywide extravaganza of Black excellence. And I will be there in the author row. So still representing for those of us who love to write and for those of you who love to read.
Yes, I love that. This has been an amazing conversation. Thank you for going through that rapid fire round with me. I appreciate the gems that you drop. Authors, make sure that you go and connect with Miss Colette. This has been amazing. Readers, go and make sure that you pick up her book. Stay tuned for the next book in her trilogy so you have time to go and catch up on book number 1 for
Yeah.
sure. And make sure, so I always ask that you do this when you check out these episodes, leave some feedback, right? Share a takeaway from the episode, right? So we always are dropping some gems. And then make sure, of course, that you like, subscribe, and share. Share this with someone who needs this. There's always someone, a few people who needs what we are sharing in these episodes. And of course, until next time, take care. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.